Good evening and welcome to our last low tide beach walk of the season.
The last night beach walk. We got more low tides coming up.
The last cold night
during the daytime.
In the dark. So welcome to the beach. We're here at Tacoma Narrows Park with permission, of course. The gate is locked at night, so we talked to the park keeper and they so graciously let us come to this beach because we have a nice low tide at about, is it at 10:30? And so we're gonna go see what kind of cool creatures we can find. So I see that we have some of you already tuning in. If you could let us know where you're tuning in from, that's really fun information for us to know. And again, we have Stina and Rachel here, and we'll go see what wild, wonderful, cool creatures we can find and teach you about them, because the more you know about these cool creatures, the more likely you will do things to protect them. So we're hoping to inspire stewardship of this beautiful Salish Sea. So with that, I'm going to flip the camera and show you the beautiful bridge. Blind you. Sorry. Flipping. Haha. So, thank you.
So we are at the Tacoma Narrows Beach Park. You can see the beautiful bridges over there. It's very still.
You can see Rachel's breath in the air.
Yeah. It's cold. I think it's about 36 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. And we are hopefully on the edge of a big winter storm that's going to bring some snow.
Did some snow dances this morning. Love to see some folks tuning in from California.
All right.
So, should we walk towards the bridge? I feel like we always go the other way, yeah. So, we are, again, starting our beach walk kind of in the higher zones. So, right now, when we look down, I found a wizard staff. Excellent. And you...
This is not a wizard staff. I can command the seas with this.
What adventures will we go on?
Well, okay, this is just a piece of driftwood, but everything becomes habitat.
Right? What do we see living on it?
For very long. So we've got some barnacles and some barnacle scars. So these open circles are just kind of the white little circles are where a barnacle once was.
I don't know if you're hearing that like honky quack in the background. That's a great blue heron.
It's a prehistoric quack, quack.
Exactly like that, Rachel. Beautiful. Okay. And of course, we put things back where we found them. So yeah, looking down, there's not a lot of life quite yet. Especially here, this is a place where for the South Puget Sound, all the water in the South Puget Sound has to travel underneath and through this little passage. And so there's really extreme currents. So there's a lot of scouring and quick water movement in and out of this area. So it's a tough beach to live on if you're a creature on these little rocks. So these probably get tumbled around quite a bit. And definitely, even though we're kind of getting closer to the water, not seeing quite as many barnacles as you might expect. Now when we get to these bigger rocks, they're going to be less likely to move around in that really intense current, and so you start seeing more life.
I was going to say, I got a good candidate for a flip here.
Ooh, Rachel's going to flip a nice head-sized rock. But before she does,
how ridiculous it looks.
Are you ready for this?
I
tell us more. What is this strange creature?
Well, this is a piece of a chitin right here. But it looks a little bit like a sea turtle bill. I meant for this to come out later. I forgot I have to actually educate and touch things with my hands. Hold on, this is what this is for.
Okay, let us bring you our jokes prematurely.
Hello.
Wait, your light is so bright.
It's your
My
light.
light is so bright? Oh my gosh.
Hello. This is a joke inspired by last night when Stina picked up a clam and
it's hard
I
to do.
said her fingernails looked like they had eyeballs on them. So here we are with our eyeballs.
What Harvard Wildlife does for fun.
But we really do. Here's our lovely park keeper, Jason. Sorry, I'm blinding you.
Yeah.
All right. I could blind you back.
Thank you so much for letting us play on the beach tonight and Well, play.
If you let yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
We got your permission, so that's good.
All right,
That's
but we're gonna
that's
look-
what we're pitching that.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip this rock because it's you know, about the same size as my head. I can lift it without hurting myself or the animals underneath. So let's see if there's anybody home. Oh, there's a shore crab or two, but a bunch of these amphipods. These are little, they're kind of compressed side to side little crustaceans. Got some green shore crabs. Look at you with your feet all up. There's another green shore crab tucked in here. And what we discovered about the green shore crabs last night is under a UV light, they can glow. So, oh, you have your flash on your screen, but I think it's still showing up the little greenness.
Turn that off.
Yeah, there you go. So you can see how kind of fluorescent green they are. Also, this green algae glows a very lovely red color. It's kind of striking. And the amphipods glow too. Noticing that
Nice.
little one scooching around. So yeah, all things we didn't know before last night when we brought the black light out.
Yay for learning and having fun. And for those of you just tuning in, we're here at... Oh,
Found more things on the rock. You know,
we found more things on the rock. We're here at Tacoma Narrows Park. Woo, the bridge. Okay. Yeah!
So we've got a couple of little brown blobs. These are barnacle-eating nudibranchs. They're a species of sea slug. Oh, and look at the tiny crab right there.
Oh
Can
my
you even
gosh.
see it?
Zooming.
Whoa. That is itty bitty. That's about as small as they come. Before there are crabs that are small like this, they are planktonic and able to swim and kind of float. So anything smaller than about that size, they are free swimming and not settled on the bottom yet. But these are barnacle-eating nudibranchs, and they eat the barnacles. They're also in the intertidal zone right now, laying eggs. So we'll probably, if we look under a few more rocks, begin to see their egg clusters, which look a bit like cake icing. Like if you just squished some gelatinous goo out of a cake tip, that's what you'd get.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying to remember the barnacle-eating sea slugs have a really funny scientific name. And we have Lindsay, our lovely executive director, doing some tech for us. So she's running the comments tonight. We might, hey Lindsay, want to Google what the barnacle-eating nudibranchs scientific name is?
Pretty please. I need to know. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to put this rock back though. Flip it back over and set it so I don't squish those slugs. Right there. All right.
I think so. This is one of my favorite views. All right.
All right. I feel like this is a good crab rock.
Sometimes Rachel can convince kids that she's magic and be like, all right, I'm gonna
Let me
flip this
predict
rock.
it.
And sure enough, look at all of those shore crabs scuttling about.
Ooh, and we've got another nudibranch, but a different kind.
Ooh.
Looks like a shaggy mouse. Is it? It's hard to say.
I think
Oh,
it's
maybe
still
not.
a barnacle eating one, but it's kind of
Yeah,
lighter
you're
colored.
looking a
Although I'm like washing it out.
little weird.
This might be a good puddle of crabs to talk about males versus females with.
Yeah, because there's a
them
lovely
right
female.
here.
I don't even have to flip her.
Yeah.
She's just showing off for us. So the female green shore crabs or Oregon shore crabs, they exhibit dimorphism. So the females have this great big wide abdominal tail flap that kind of wraps underneath. And this one is kind of shaped like a haystack or a beehive.
Nice.
And then the males, I don't know if I can find a male in here. They're all really little. Males I usually can tell because they have large pinchers. These guys are pretty little. Okay, this looks ridiculous with...
The googly eyes.
Okay, so that little triangle up the center there is their abdominal flap on the male. And so you can see how it's very tall and skinny on this male, and on the female it's nice and big. And that's because the females have to carry eggs, which are very large. and so they need as much space as possible to maximize their fertility there.
All right, and Lindsay is coming in clutch as our moderator here. And the barnacle-eating sea slug, its genus name is Onchodorus. Which
Oh yes, I did know
is,
that.
yeah, one of those just really fun words to say. More like Onchodorable.
Oh my gosh.
They're so cute.
Super cute. All right, and again, we're gonna put our rock back in place so we don't disturb anybody's little home there.
Cool. All right. What else? Yeah, so we're gonna move closer to the water, although I do want to point out there's kind of a new green seaweed here. Well, maybe not new. Okay, there's the new one. This is the Ulva intestinalis. So it's like a hollow tube version of this leafy green sea lettuce. So you can kind of sometimes see the air bubbles, but it's Ulva intestinalis because it looks like intestines.
And then lactuca, right? 'Cause
Yep. Lettuce leafy.
it's lettuce.
And then there's this one that's confusing. I call it the shredded lettuce because it's
Oh yeah, there you go.
like the
It's not
intestinalis,
tubes.
but it's still flat, so it's not the tubular intestinalis type. But yay, green seaweed!
I see a cool thing on, or maybe not. Hold on.
Cool thing, maybe? Oh yeah.
Big disruption in the sand here, which told me there was something larger in here. This is a purple shore crab. There's actually two here. The purple shore crab is larger and has no hairs on their legs compared to the green shore crabs. They also tend to have polka dots on their pinchers. That's a nice big male there. See, I can show off. And I can show off this male as well. So this is a male purple shore crab up here.
Hey,
This
okay.
is a male green shore crab. Oh,
You
Sina's
see,
getting
I'm
pinched.
getting pinched. But I survived!
So the green shore crabs have these little hairs on their walking legs. So you can
And you
probably
can
see them.
those little tiny bristles kind of against Rachel's glove
Black
there
glove.
versus
Compared to
the
this one.
no bristles.
Totally smooth on this one.
Maybe a little sandy, but
And we don't mind. We don't mind.
beyond their control.
And there's some more tiny little crabs down in here too.
Yeah. So this is a good reminder that, like, okay, yes, you all can pinch, but it doesn't really hurt because they're tiny.
Little pinchers. All right.
And we'll again put our rock back. Kind of
And I'm kind of
just a
propping it
little,
on those rocks just a touch so that
little one
I don't want
squash.
to smash anybody.
Woohoo! We're going to the shore. You can see how we kind of go from this green belt of green algae, and as we get closer, seeing a lot of kind of sandy scuzz covering this area, but as we get to the deeper areas that are currently uncovered due to the nice negative low tide tonight, we'll start seeing some different seaweed. And Narrows is a place where, because of these fast currents, sometimes we'll see dislodged bull kelp, which is pretty cool.
Sometimes we also have, this is a good spot for octopus.
Oh yeah.
But when you find an octopus, it's really just luck. So it's going to see if they're rock.
Yeah, rockweed. This is usually a little higher up, but when you're not on a big rock, you can easily get... Oh, I have eyeballs too. Oh, I have given it away. But yeah, sometimes you see cool stuff living. This is a type of brown algae, even though it's kind of a greenish color. Algae is a little confusing, but it has 3 categories: brown, green, and red. So we've seen a lot of the green variety already and talked a little bit about it. This is a brown variety. And then I'd imagine we'll see some good red species.
Yeah, this beach usually has some beautiful red
The sea noodles. And yeah, we'll turn our lights up and
under the
show
black
that.
light. It
Nice
really
black light.
glows just so cool.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful deep red color.
And it's all red algae are more elastic kind of feeling. They're
Quite
like
springy.
boingy like a rubber band.
So I
that's
mean, they
kinda-
really do stretch and spring.
Yeah, so if color's stumping you, you can always kind of tug on the algae and see, okay, if it's more rubbery, maybe it's a red. I'm noticing some tube worms kind of on the water's edge,
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, but we need to get you one out, but
right?
they're onto us.
Sneaky.
Secret hiding tube.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we have a tube for a reason. So we might as well
right.
use it.
And if you're just tuning in, feel free to let us know where you're watching from. And of course, if you have any questions, Rachel and I will try and answer them. But we also have Lindsay moderating. She's answering some of our questions right off the bat. So we appreciate you, Lindsay.
Bonus points for Lindsay.
Woot woot.
Oh, here's a cool picture.
Right.
This is one of my favorite animals to see. They're very simple animals. They don't have a brain, not much of a nervous system there. It's in the Cnidarian phylum, which is the stinging celled animal, so similar to a jellyfish or corals or hydroids. But this is the aggregating anemone, and you can see their beautiful tentacles that have little pink tips to them. And then in the center is their mouth, and this one's mouth is kind of protruding outward a little bit, probably the effects of gravity on it. But under blacklight, these glow just a beautiful color. So, show you that.
This
Look at
one
that.
looks awesome.
So wild. It's amazing to see the change in that color.
Yeah.
So, real life, ultraviolet life.
Right. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna photograph that one
Yeah.
because it's just too cool.
Oh, Jason found a sea star. We'll go say hi to
we'll
it.
go. Fun to have extra
Yeah.
eyes on the beach.
For those of wondering about the health of the algae out on the beach, a lot of algae in the wintertime kind of die back because there's not as much sunlight, which of course they are a type of sea life that gets its energy from the sun. So with less sunlight, they kind of die back. And
I like the plants in my yard too.
yeah, and then they'll come back in the summertime. All right,
Trick Jason is finding it again.
right.
Oh, it's down there.
Come look at this cool thing I found.
And then Rachel and I did that with a moon snail out on the Purdy Sands bit. So here's your pro tip. If you're like, I can't get enough of this beach walk, as soon as we end our Facebook Live, we pop over to TikTok to do another live. And so you can keep exploring. And this inability to retrace our steps leads us to find
More creatures.
More creatures.
Or sometimes the same creature that we
or
wanted to
sometimes the
find.
same creature. So here's a mottled star. And this is one that comes in a variety of different colors, but it always has a smaller central disc and longer, thinner arms. And on the end of each arm, you can see there's a little eye
tiny
spot.
black spot right there.
Yeah, so fun to see. And then on the top of the sea star, it has that white spot, the madreporite.
This right here.
Yeah, and that's its super secret filter, so it can bring seawater into its body, which acts kind of like the sea star's blood, but they don't have any blood, they don't have any bones, they don't have any brain, which makes it a pretty strange animal to have 5 eyes, but no
brain to
No
process
brain.
all that. But they could see. They've done studies on them to see that they can navigate
Yeah.
through their environment and
And
use
they're-
landmarks
yeah.
a little bit.
maybe more of a light sensor than a actual
Can you see
cones and
this
all that.
little tiny spaghetti worm? There's a wave action. It's gonna be too hard to see. Trust me, there's a little wiggly pink thing in there. That's a caprellid worm.
Oh.
Yeah, trust me, it was cool. We'll find some more.
Yeah. I was gonna see if maybe this is a sea star that has any scale worms. Here's a great example of it putting those tube feet to work. So it's holding on to these rocks and making it hard for us to see if it has any scale worms, but we'll just walk
He was doing his best to be anchored, so he didn't get washed up on the beach.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Nice. And their top surface, you'll notice, is really clean. There's no barnacles or algae or anything growing on the sea star. And that's because they have a defense. They have these little tiny pinchers called pedicelaria that are hidden amongst the gills in the skin and skeleton of the animal. And when something settles on them, they come out and attack. Grab on microscopically. It's very, very tiny. But sometimes you can feel that by sticking like the hairs on your hands. Like their knuckle hair. I was gonna say,
yeah, you might have a better
maybe
angle.
I can do it with my
The fuzzy
get them to lift up on that, because sometimes they do. They'll grab on to anything, and then you can.
Ooh, yeah. Notice
How strongly he's attached to that. I mean, the pedicelaria, microscopic little tube feet are able to. All right, I'm not algae though. You're gonna have to let go, my friend.
microscopic pinchers.
They work really well.
Yeah, look at how it's grabbing onto the fuzz of that glove. This is a much nicer way than getting your knuckle hairs ripped off.
What, you don't like the spa treatment of the beach? You can put your mustache on there and wax it right off. Sea star it right off.
Remember when I first started working with Harbor Wild Watch, I was like, oh my gosh, I could demonstrate this with my bangs. Back when I had bangs.
Yes.
And then it's really embarrassing when you're like, I can't get the sea star out of my hair.
That's so funny.
So
there you go.
Thanks for that demonstration, little sea star.
Fuzzy gloves, do the trick.
Lovely.
All right. Well, I kind of want to keep walking this way because
Yeah.
we don't go this way very often.
All right, guys, have fun.
Jason, thanks again.
Just come down and check out.
That's perfect.
Go watch from the warmth of your house.
How long do you plan on being out?
I think we'll do this for another 15 to 30 minutes.
Something like that.
All right.
And
Not
then
too long.
pop over onto TikTok. So we'll be out by.
I'll text you and let you know when.
Yeah, we'll.
Very good.
Cool. Thank
Guys,
you.
have fun.
Whoop whoop.
All right. It is very chilly out.
I think I've dialed my layers in finally. Toe warmers, check. Layer of fleece under my fleece lined pants, check.
That's good.
Heated vest, check.
Yeah, the heated vest is definitely the best investment. Oh, here's a cool creature.
Yeah.
Ooh, a couple of creatures and some cool algae. Nice. All right, we've got the mollusks represented tonight. This is a chitin, so you can see they have these 8 plates and the woody. It's a woody chitin. They have kind of that kind of rough textured girdle there. This one's got a little bit of algae growing on those plates, which must make it hard for them to see, because chitins can actually, they have primitive eyes in their shell, which is wild, a calcium carbonate eyeball.
Yeah, wild.
But cool that somebody was able to discover that. And then we've got a limpet up here too, 2 of them. So limpets are in a different class than the chitins. They have singular shells instead of 8 plates. Both animals have a sticky foot that they suction cup on. They both have a radula that they're going to eat with, which is like a chainsaw tongue to scrape algae off the rock. Speaking of algae,
woohoo!
We've got this cool stuff. I know it as tar spot algae, but this is only one of its body forms.
At beach monitoring, we'd call this Ralphsia.
Yes.
And then there's kind of this like rusty, more brighter red colored kind of encrusting algae called Hildebrandia. Or Hildenbrandia. We should see if that glows.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. It does not. Well, kind of reddish, maybe. I can't tell if it's reflecting. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's kind of reddish. Good. Okay, we'll take it.
Yeah. Boing.
So far, the photosynthetic things.
Yeah. Okay, here's a cool thing.
What's the cool thing?
This is some sculpin eggs, or some type of fish eggs, on a non-native brown algae. What is it? Sargassum. It has the tiny little little bubbles.
Not to be confused with nematocysts. The pneumaticist is like pneumatic tool. This means air. And so those are the little air sacs that help keep it floating in the sunlight.
And this is one of those algae that in the water, like it is so pretty because it floats and it's very like mermaid-like.
So this is a little egg mass from a snail. I think this is a lacuna.
Lacuna.
Yeah, little lacuna snail
Lacuna
eggs.
matata. Oh wait.
I love it.
They look like little donuts.
Yes. They're definitely the donut eggs.
Yeah, so that's
Donut, eat them.
donuts eat the lacuna snail eggs. Right. Da-na-na. Yeah, this is a good clue. Seeing all these sea noodles. It's a lower intertidal algae. Again, some probably rockweed that's gotten knocked off. This is a nice spot. I can see all our kind of groups of seaweeds. We have the red, we have the green, and we have the brown. All in one place. Very nice. See what Rachel's finding over here.
Looking at more anemones under.
Nice.
There's some shrimp.
Some shrimp.
Hey there, shrimpies. Yeah, all kinds of little crustacean creatures here. Amphipods, probably copepods, and shrimp. All zooming around, trying not to get eaten.
Yeah. For those of you tuning in, we wish you could be here too, and someday we're, excited to have public beach walks again, but, it's pretty amazing that technology lets us bring the beach to you, wherever warm, cozy place you're at. So we thank you all for tuning in here. Of course, let us know where you're tuning in from, and if you have any questions, I think we're going to keep going along for a little bit longer. See what amazing stars, cool creatures we can find. Da-na-na-na.
Nice to see those mottled stars. They look like a little fluffy pillow, but they're actually quite firm and a little slimy.
Yeah.
Don't stick your glove to it; it'll grab on.
Yeah, we had a nice reaction to the sea star spa treatment.
I mean, people pay big money for seaweed wraps and mud baths.
Could have the crabs pick off the dead skin from your feet. That would be great. Ooh.
So this one's got some really cool coloration. It's kind of a greenish teal with a bright white stripe.
Yeah, it was throwing me off.
Yeah, it looks like the eelgrass shrimps kind of, but not quite. But it glows a little.
Yeah.
The white stripe really glows.
Totally. Cool. That's a great find. Doo-doo-doo. Well, we got Wyatt tuning in. We're glad to have you. And for those of you saying, hey, we still like the virtual even when you can do this in person, I definitely think it's cool to bring my mom and dad from Montana to the beach. So, we'll still be adding some virtual digital adventures to our programs for sure. Cool.
Just a big rock.
Sometimes big rocks equal cool creatures, but I mean, not that sorry barnacles and cool seaweed. There is this nice filamentous red algae. This is that Polysiphonia again.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, under that light. I also love looking at that, and then the green. How the green algae glows so red. That is just funky.
Yeah, weird.
Love it. And then, I don't know if you can... Is the camera picking up these little brine flies all over here? That's the tricky thing about wearing a mask. Sometimes the brine flies like the light, and then they get stuck in your mask. which is gross. Not my favorite. Again, nice look. We'll give you a little sense of place here by the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, connecting Tacoma to the Key Peninsula, or the Key Peninsula to Tacoma, connecting us all. What a beautiful thing. Alright, this looks, what could be here? See some more chitons, or at least another chiton.
Oh, that's, yeah, different species. Aligned? Or is it a woody?
Still a woody.
It's a woody. It's just a
But
clean
you
woody.
can see its pretty pattern on its 8 plates there.
There's even a tiny one down here.
Oh my gosh, good eye. Itty bitty. That one's even.
That's
really
my fingertip
see.
for scale.
Yeah.
So very small.
Really, kind of that green color. I like that. Here's a new red algae. I feel like we come to Narrows and always talk about the seaweed.
My favorite thing.
There's so much good seaweed here.
Don't knock the seaweed. Turkish towel is gorgeous.
It's really.
The best
bumpy.
part is the texture, is the sound
Yeah.
it makes.
Love it.
And it's very elastic. We mentioned the red algae are very springy, and it definitely has the elasticy feel.
Yeah, I see Lindsay's there pointing some of y'all to our YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely something you can do to help us out this evening. We would love to reach 1,000 subscribers so we can take students to the beach in a digital way. But it's hard to get them via social media, so if we can get enough people to subscribe to our YouTube page, we can use YouTube in the classroom. So head on over there before you go to bed.
Tell your friends.
And tell your friends.
Tell them to tell
Yeah,
them.
we don't get to like dish out homework very often, aka celebration of knowledge.
Yes.
So
This is your homework.
this is your homework. Here's more of those tube worms kind of sticking up out of the sand. And then, ooh, what is that, Rachel?
Don't know.
Kind of, oh wait, I
More
thought it was
tubey
going to
worms?
be tube worm poop.
No, it's not tube worm.
But
it's like worms.
It's like worm
It's like
casings.
Themselves.
Interesting, interesting.
Not that I don't want to point out poop to you, but
Yeah.
if I see it, I'll show you.
Sometimes as that algae starts to die, it turns different colors. And this Turkish towel chunk here had me, I was like, oh, nope, it's a little different, but bummer. Oh, yeah.
It's sad that this is our last night beach walk, but I'm excited for more daytime road times.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's
I
beautiful.
forget what this is called.
I forget too, but it's gorgeous. That's a beautiful one. Let's see if it glows. Oh yeah.
Surprised that it does.
Super
Nice.
bright. It's pretty
Like-
seeing it move in the waves a little. Wow.
Yeah. Kind of those pretty, like the lobes on the end.
And it's like so translucent, so thin and delicate, but they kind of stack together and make cool
Yeah.
contrast.
Here's another anemone.
Nice glowy.
Nice glowy. Oh yeah, that's great. Fluorescence is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
one
definitely
advantage of a nighttime thing. We can't
Yeah.
really do that during the day very well.
not at all. What you finding?
Old kelp, sometimes they have
Yeah.
pictures hanging on, but
Whoop.
well,
Yeah. And then just appreciative, even though it's cold out, it is a nice, still, calm evening. Narrows is typically a fun place to come for marine mammals. So I'm surprised we haven't heard any sea lions barking or splashing around at us.
Breathing close to us.
Or breathing close to us.
Yeah, this is a good spot. Just about every time I've come here, if you stare at the water long enough, you'll find a porpoise or a handful of them that go by. And if you follow like the Orca Network on Facebook or a lot of community pages, whenever somebody sees orca or a whale coming through, this is a nice spot to view from because you get a long look at the water as they kind of travel through the Narrows.
Yeah. And again, thinking about just the geography of the Narrows, if the orcas have gone to the south part of the Puget Sound to get back north, they have to come through here. So it's a nice narrow spot for good marine mammal viewing from shore even. And that's a great way to view marine mammals, to keep them nice and safe. Yeah. I don't know, I noticed something on our most recent Peer Into the Night. If you turn the volume all the way up, there's like a section of that dive where there's just this piercing whir. And so you can actually hear how obnoxious the boat sounds, even just to our human ears. And so you can imagine being a marine mammal that can't plug its ears, take its head out of the water.
And they have echolocation, right? So
yeah, they need that.
Very, very good at listening.
Mottled stars are the star of the show this evening. And they're kind of these.
Different beaches have different stars.
Yeah, not as. I mean, these get fairly large, and so it's interesting to me that we've seen, this handful of mid-sized, kind of like the teenage sea star here on the beach. But glad to see them because these healthy teenage stars are a good clue that, yay, maybe a sign they're coming back. Something we're excited to feature. On the 17th is our first Cocktails and Fishtails speaker of 2021. Dr. Sarah Graven will be talking about how community science and gathering data on sea stars, I think there's over 64 organizations that, including Harbor Wild Watch community scientists, that pulled that data together, and she's the lead author on a paper that led to the sunflower star being listed as critically endangered. So that will be a fascinating talk to kick off our monthly science social series, so definitely tune in for that. And that's already next week. So I see, what is this bright orange thing you found?
Well, I was kind of ready to show off the barnacles.
Oh yeah.
But my light has attracted all kinds of plankton to the water. We've got some amphipods and a lot of just zoomy things.
A little tiny
little swimming crustacean.
Winkle.
And then, this gorgeous little snail in the middle of it all. But the barnacles are eating, so you can see them kicking out their feet.
Hold on, are you telling me barnacles eat with their feet?
Absolutely. I don't know what else they would eat with. They don't have hands. Their heads are glued to the rock.
So. You know what else would be fun to tune in for?
Speaking of barnacles.
Speaking of barnacles, if you want to learn more than you ever wanted to know about them, join Rachel and I for our Valentine's Day special, Sex in the Sailor Sea.
It's a rated R talk.
Yes.
For the racy, ridiculous, and romantic reproduction of the Salish Sea.
Yeah, it will be very fun.
Valentine's Day, 8 p.m. right here on Facebook.
We got you.
It will be a hoot. You don't want to know what my search history is like, but trust me, it is wild. We got some interesting, it'll be factual and educational, but also quite fun.
I mean, it's just amazing. There's so many incredible adaptations to living in an area that's kind of a tough place to live, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wild.
Yeah. Impressed with these sea creatures, for sure.
Yeah, just more of that rockweed, and yeah, Rachel is totally right. These lights are just attracting all sorts of little zippy zoomy amphipods.
My flashlight brings all the bugs to the shore.
That light is Rachel's light is better than yours. Yeah, okay.
The sign that we're seeing might be a
A good sign
to wrap up.
that we're ready to say goodnight.
Punchy out here.
Yeah. Well, Rachel, would you like to leave us on some wise words? Yeah, if you'd cover your headlamp, that makes this more pleasant. I'll just blind you with the bridge in the background. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in with us. We are so appreciative of all of our fans and followers, all the times that you like and you comment and you share. That helps to push our message of stewardship out to even more people. So thank you sincerely for all of that. Again, we've got Cocktails and Officials coming up on Wednesday. On Sunday, we have our Valentine's Rated R talk, 8 p.m. And that'll happen here on Facebook. We're going to pop over to TikTok for our walk back to the beach. So if you haven't had enough and you want to hear us talk about probably the same stuff over again, head on over to TikTok and we will see you there. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And of course, we are a nonprofit organization and we do appreciate any donations that you can make to our organization through our website, harborwildwatch.org, or right through the Facebook app as well. So thanks, everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate all of you for tuning in for these late night beach walks. We wouldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. And as always,
Learn,
have fun.